Good morning. Good morning, Dora and Ruth. Yeah, it's a little chilly today. It was pretty chilly yesterday though too. I thought it was going to be warmer than it turned out to be, but I'm still looking forward to 60-degree weather on the weekend. That's what they keep saying. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But yeah, today is probably an indoor type of day. Although, my dog will not agree. She will want to walk regardless. So that's fine. Um, all right. Well, let's see what we should talk about today. All right. Well, let's talk about this idea of letting go. Um, it comes up a lot in yoga. Um, this idea of change, right? So change being constant. The only thing that isn't changing is um, that heart within, right? The self, the big self, right? That we share with everyone. Um, and sadly, a lot of times our minds and our thoughts aren't along with the change, right? We are holding those very rigid, and that's not good, right? So, of all those things, um, the change is normal. Having this self stay is normal. What is the problem is that then we start getting stuck with our thoughts and our beliefs and even our perceptions, right? We can get very stuck with them. We tend to expect that everything will be the same as it's always been. Um, we hold the same expectations of people that we perhaps have always done, which is can be very unfair based on their changes, right? So we may expect a great deal from someone that they are not able to do anymore, or vice versa. Um, a lot of times we find this with children, right? Where we don't expect much from them. We have maybe a lower opinion of their abilities, right? Because we think of them still as little kids. Um, so then we don't really give them a chance, and we tend to kind of downplay what they're capable of doing, which is really, not only selling them short, but you're missing out on someone who might be able to really help you. My dad used to say, um, everyone under, what did he- I think it was 60. Anybody under 60 is a dumb. And I'm not going to say what he said, but I think you can imagine what he said. Um, but he was of the opinion, right, that if you hadn't reached a certain age, you didn't have the experience to really know what was what. I mean, he has a point in one respect. There is certainly some value in age and experience, but you're also wrong to expect that younger people don't have something to offer. They certainly do. Um, so everybody does, right? And we're all going through these stages at different times. Um, so being willing to change, letting go of our perceptions of other people, of situations, of um, the world, right? Certainly that is changing all the time. Um, but we are moving toward the light, right? That's our goal. That's where the change should be happening. we're trying to improve. We're trying to become that better version of ourselves. I was watching a documentary with my husband about um, a guy who writes, I think his name was Meacham, John Meacham. He writes a lot of historical, um, he's, like a history professor. So he writes a lot of historical novels, not really novels, biographies, I guess. He's got a serious dude, right? Not, not a silly dude, but um, and it was actually I was geared up to have it be kind of a bummer, right? Because he was kind of going through this idea of history and what does it mean, um, how are we now compared to how we were, and what's happening in the world. Um, but it actually was very inspiring. I thought he did a really great job of showing how uh, even though we may feel like this is a very turbulent time in our society and a lot of difficulties going on, there certainly have been times as intense, as difficult, with as many you know fighting and sort of arguing and struggle between different ideas, um, throughout history, and then even just throughout our own uh, country's history. Um, And the phrase that he used that really stuck with me was the idea of our better angels fighting against our lower demons, right? So we have these lower impulses, all of us: fear, greed, hatred, anger, right? These are impulses that lead us astray. Um, and we often give in to these. Right? We're afraid. We don't like the idea of things changing. We don't want to go with the change. We feel like something we're going to lose something. We're um, that uncertainty, right? The idea that there perhaps is only so much to go around, right? Which is crazy. Right? I mean, there's an infinite amount of everything, and especially these ideas of like freedom and um, uh, the ability to do things and to be treated fairly and honestly, and to be loved and to be able to love who you want, and all of these things. There's an infinite space for these things. There's no You don't lose anything by allowing others to have their share. Um, so the fear that goes with that is kind of our one of our lower impulses. The higher impulse is what we are looking for. We're looking to feed those feelings of compassion and empathy, and knowing that we are all one, right? And when one part of our society is struggling, um, it's bad for all of us. Right? We all are very interdependent. Um, these people, these kids who are struggling, to get an education and to um, get meaningful work and to survive, really. These are the people that will be taking care of us in our old age. They will be hopefully our, doctors and lawyers and everything that we might need is in the future. And if we don't take care of that, if we don't try to give everyone that opportunity to change and to grow, um, we're going to have a big problem, right? It will be eventually, a really terrible situation. So um, we have to let go of our worries about this and our fears, and embrace the change, looking always, right, to our higher angels. And the way to do this is to keep our thoughts, keep our minds on this path of um, the yoga, the yoga principles, right? The yamas and the niyamas. These speak directly to our better angels. Um, they are feeding the higher parts of ourselves and trying to minimize the impact of our lower impulses, right? Not denying that they're not there. We're not saying, "Oh, you're going to become a saint. You're never going to have a problem." No, you're always going to have a problem, right? And in that respect, I think that's what makes all of this so amazing to me. Um, and I find that people are so demoralized, right, when they find leaders who are doing terrible things, right? We've all heard of these guys, and you know they're in religious organizations or political organizations, or the worst of all, right, this in a position where they're dealing with children, and they're doing terrible things. They are working out, going through their very worst impulses. And we are shocked and horrified. I'm not sure why, because it happens so often. Why should we be shocked? Horrified for sure. But we know there is the capacity for this to happen. Um, so instead of being shocked, let's be aware. Let's keep our eye on folks in power, knowing they are no more special than we are. They have the same problems, the same um, impulses. They are no more holy or special or wise or perfect than we are. They are just as flawed. Um, so we need to keep an eye on them, right? And take heart, right? So rather than feeling sad to know that there's no one that's perfect, feel good to know that you are just as imperfect as the most powerful person in the world. You are just as imperfect as they are. Um, it doesn't mean we shouldn't hold them to a standard. We absolutely should, as we hold ourselves. But that could be you, right? There's no reason that could not be you. Each and every one of us have this capacity to really rise high if we want to, if we want to work on that. Um, so I like that idea. I like the idea that um, we, all of us, you can't look at someone and be like, oh, well, they're special. They're not. They might be smarter than you. They might be better educated. They might have different things, be wealthier, be whatever, luckier. I mean, certainly that adds into it, but they are essentially flesh and bone, um, the same as you. Um, so let's stop um, giving people all this power, right? Let's keep an eye on them and stop letting them get away with stuff just because um, they're in some position that we assume that they're going to be better than we are. They're not. They're going to do the same dumb stuff, right? Um, except it's going to be catastrophic, right, when they do it, because it's going to be on a scale that perhaps um, a person in a lower position would not have been able to achieve. So um, we've said this before, and I'll say it again: the guru is you, right? You are your best teacher. You are your best leader. You are the person who is going to show you the way, um, rather than relying on other people, on other impulses, on other uh, people to tell you what to believe. Find out for yourself. Um, search if you have a question, if you're not sure how something works, search, find out. There are so many, there's so much information available now. It can be overwhelming, right? There's a lot of information, and you have to pick and choose, reliable sources. Um, but use your own, use your own um, intellect and your sense of right and wrong to make your best choice. And as always, work on those higher angels. Let that be your guidance, and it's not going to steer you wrong. That truth within. So, we'll get there. But the key part of this is letting go of old beliefs, letting go of ideas that just don't make sense. Maybe you were told certain things as a child that were very wrong. Um, some parents, right, pass on a very kind of toxic view of the world to their kids, um, which may or may not make sense to them when they get older. Let go of it, right? Your experience is your experience, and it's going to be different than anyone else. So explore where you are at and let go of things that you've heard from other people. It may be their experience, but it may not at all be the truth. All right, so let's move through a little practice and letting go of your thoughts about what we're doing and what it means, if anything, and just moving and breathing. So we're sitting upright, shoulders relaxed, making sure the shoulders are right over the hips, so you're not leaning forward. And then chin down toward the chest. Take a breath here, and then start moving the head around. One way and then the other. Back to center. Lean forward a little. And then moving around. One way and then the other. Coming back up, arms wide. Deep breath. Exhale, hands together. Inhale, arms wide. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Interlace the fingers. Lift your hands, gazing up. And then arms down by your side. Inhale, lift. And lower. Lift. And lower. Once more, lifting up. Right arm down by your side, reach across. Switch sides. And back up. Lift the shoulders, roll back. And forward. Right hand on left knee, left arm behind, sit up tall. Deep breath, and then twist. Back to center, and twisting the other way. Back to center. Bring your hands on your knees. We're going to do a seated cat-cow. So as you inhale, we're going to bring the chest forward. Gaze up. And then exhale, curving through the spine, drawing the belly in. And then just move with your breath. Inhales and exhales. Back up to your seat. Let's bring the soles of the feet together. And sitting up tall, take a deep breath and fold. Back up. Both legs out in front. Point and flex the feet. Rotate through the ankles. One way and the other. And then bending the right knee. We're going to hug that in. Sitting up tall. Lower. Out to the side. Take a deep breath and fold forward. Back up. Switch. So we're hugging that left leg in, sitting up tall. And then lowering the knee to the side. Deep breath in, fold forward. And back up, both legs out in front. Take a deep breath and fold. Back up, bring the legs wide, sitting up tall, and we're going to do eagle arms here. So do you remember eagle arms? We're bringing arms out to a T, and we're going to wrap right arm under left. See how that works. So if that isn't working too great for you, if you can't get the hands together, just bring the hands to the shoulder, and that's fine. Deep breath here, and then we're folding forward. Back up, release the arms, bring them up over the head. And then we're going to do the opposite one. So this time left comes under right, which may or may not be easier. It's harder for me on this side. Take a deep breath and fold. Back up, release the arms. And then back down by your side. Let's bring the legs together. We're going to bend the knees. And then coming into boat pose. So you can, I'm going to turn sideways here. You can start out here. You can have hands behind your knees. We're going to balance here. And then you can stay like this. You could extend the legs. You could stay like this, bring the hands out to the side. That's a little harder, right? And then bring the feet back down. We're going to see where you are on the mat. Lower down on your back. Take a few breaths. Get comfortable. And if you haven't extended the legs, go ahead and extend the legs. Let's bring the arms out to a T. 4 or 5 pointed star, feet wide on the mat. And then we're going to bring soles of the feet together, knees apart, bring the arms up over the head. So if you can grab onto opposite elbows, we'll do that. If not, just extend the arms out so they're up over your head. Extend the legs again. Let's bring the arms by your side. Bend your knees. Right ankle on top of the left knee. Maybe drawing the leg in, if that's possible. If not, just keeping that left foot on the mat and pressing the right knee away from the body. Set the foot down, switch your legs. And whatever we do on one side, we're going to do on the other if possible. And releasing both feet down. Let's do a regular bridge, and then we're going to do a supported bridge. Hands by your side, pressing down with the hands and the feet. We're lifting up. Lower back down. Take a breath here. And then lifting up again. Resting on your block. And doing whatever feels good for you here. You can take some different poses or just stay in the regular supported bridge. Lifting up, remove your block. Soles of the feet together, knees apart. Bring the hands back up over the head. If you grabbed opposite elbows, move it the opposite way, right? So there's a way we sort of naturally go for this. It's the one that feels, most easy. So just switch. Do the opposite. And then releasing, extend the legs. Take a couple breaths. Knees back. Hugging into the chest. Rock side to side. And then arms out to a T or goalpost arms. We're lowering over to the right. Back to center and then moving to the left. Back to center. Happy baby. So taking a hold of the feet or the ankles or even the calves, whatever you can reach here, and then you can stay still, or if you feel like moving around is going to be the best for you, give that a shot. Releasing it, extend the legs straight up. Hands are by your side, palms resting on the mat. And then when you're ready, you can lower down however you want. And get comfortable here on the mat. Moving into your Shavasana. Resting the body on the mat, steady with your breath. Feel your body sinking down into the mat. Keeping your awareness right here. Resisting the urge to follow the thoughts away. Keeping the focus here. So letting go can be a struggle, right? Letting go of our thoughts, um, letting go of our old beliefs, letting go of habits that are unhealthy for us or just don't fit in with our lifestyle anymore. One of the amazing things about humans is our ability to adapt and to change. It is why we have been here for as long as we have, right? We um, genetically and physically aren't all that different from the very first humans. Um, but our world is unimaginably different. But still, we thrive. We have improved, right? Our lifespans have improved. Our health has improved immeasurably. Our bodies have improved, even um, in the past, 100 years, 50 years. Um, the changes in the size and the bone structure, just, you know, we're moving in a good direction, right? We're moving to more health, better ability to survive. So physically, we're doing okay. I mean, there's definitely some issues with obesity and processed foods, but our changes are largely good, right? People's health, overall health is better. We're less likely to have health problems and to be in the ones that we do, we can take care of. Um, we need to get our heads in the same place, right? Improving, getting stronger mentally and emotionally, spiritually, um, being able to change, being able to let go of the old and embrace the new. finding our happiness in what is coming instead of what has gone by. And one of the easiest ways to work on this is to be here in the now, not regretful in the past or worried anticipating the future, but right now. There is no room for old stuff or, you know, things to come when you are fully in the now, aware of what's happening, accepting what's happening, making our way as best we can. No reason to complain, no reason to argue or struggle. Just letting go of the past, letting go of future, and being here right now. When you're ready, moving a bit, fingers and toes, hands and feet, and then getting yourself up to a seat if you want. Bring hands together, deep breath in and out. Thank you for taking some time today for yoga and for sharing it with me. I hope you have a most excellent Wednesday. Namaste. Thank you. All right. Meditation. Let's do that for 5 minutes. Sitting up, relaxed shoulders, relaxed body, regular breath, and we'll begin. Finding that peaceful focus within. Coming back to awareness, breath in and breath out. So, meditation is really a focus on what is now. Um, we're not paying attention to what is past. We're not anticipating the future. We're trying to stay right in the now, which is why it's so hard because nothing's happening, right? It's nothingness. There is this sense of nothing really changing. Now, if you focus on the breath, you'll see, your breath does change a little slightly, but we are staying in that moment and then the next moment and the moment after that. So I think it's a wonderful exercise in mindfulness, in being mindful of what's happening right now, um, that we can then carry into our day, right? What is happening at this very moment? Every moment is precious. It is an opportunity to change, to do something different. Even if you've been struggling all day, right, with thinking about other things, you can bring it back. Right? Focus on this moment. Um, so it's a great tool for that, for remembering and focusing. Right? Because if we can do this in meditation, when it's hard, right, there's not much happening. It's easier then to do that in your day when you might have one thing that you're concentrating on, right? There is something concrete in front of you. You're having a conversation. You are doing a task. Then you can put that awareness, bring that awareness to what's happening right now. In when it might be a little easier, right? You've got an actual thing to think about, to concentrate on. So, we'll see how it goes. Enjoy Wednesday. Stay warm. And I know it's not even that cold, but it feels cold, right? Because we're used to 60-degree weather, even though it's November. So it's going to take a little bit to adjust, I guess, again. So we're getting into it. Okay. See you tomorrow, Thursday.